So, previous classes we've talked about the introduction to Excel. We talked about different parts of Excel. We also talked about formula functions, editing, inserting of. Even we talk about charts and how to manipulate our charts. So today we'll be talking. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is reviewing and sharing workbook. You review and you share your workbook. So after you must have created your workbook, you need to review what you have done before you share it. Now reviewing too can be done with multiple people if it's done on a shared folder. Now, what is reviewing and sharing? Now, you could proofread a worksheet in Excel using track changes and comment features. So when you finish reviewing the worksheet, the other person can choose to automatically accept all your changes or decide whether to accept or reject it. Now, this is also possible in other Microsoft Office applications. You could review while the review is done. You can assess what somebody else has done. If what they've done is okay by you, you can accept it. If not, you can reject it. So that is that. Now, tracking changes. How do you track changes? Now, track when you need to collaborate on content of a spreadsheet, or if you need someone to proofread your worksheet. Excel track changes and comment features. It makes it easier for you to collaborate with others. So, meaning that this is meant for multiple people, not just one person. It's meant for multiple people, not just one person. It's a group. For instance, in a department, you have hierarchies, and you have other people that are collaborating on a particular document. Somebody can prepare a document because it is accessible to others on a shared folder. They can check, track changes, and they can make changes to it. Everybody will see it, and you can choose to accept it. If it's accepted, fine, it will proceed. If not, then you can reject it. Then the color of the highlights will vary depending on who is reviewing the document. So if there are multiple reviewers, you will be able to tell at a glance who made each change. So meaning that if you could recall, while we're putting our formula and our function, you found out that Excel is giving you different colors, some red, some blue. The same thing happens. So if staff A made the document, staff B review, it automatically gives staff B a different color from staff C. So that is what it's telling us. So you can easily track changes made by individual on this. So to turn on track changes, what you need to do is to go to your review tab. On our worksheet, we have a tab called review tab. Let's quickly go through our review tab right now. So okay, this is Excel. If you can see, my mouse is hovering on the review tab. Just click on the review tab. So let's follow the instruction. So click on track changes, then select highlight changes from the drop down menu. As you can see, click on track changes, you select highlight changes, then dialog box appears. Check the box next to the track changes while editing. So let's go over to that side now. So this is our review tab. So let's track our changes right now. Now let's find out something. This current view is different from 2010. So that is what is causing the difference. The difference is a bit different. So now, for us to track our changes, let's find out. I guess this must have been moved from here, but let's still look. Let's find our way around it. No. Now, if you are using older version, I guess there's something must have been moved to a new location. Now, if you look at this, it shows protect worksheet, protect workbook, and share. Beside it, you have protect and share workbook. Allow users to edit ranges. Then track changes is below it. The same track changes that is in the older version is current. This is Office 365, so it seems to be in a different location. Let me check one more time before we proceed further. You can see it's not available right here, but it's on older version. In case you have 2010 below, you will find track changes there. Here, what we have here is protect worksheet. Let's go to info. Let's find out from here. Okay. It seems not to be available here. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, I will still find out about it and get back to us on that. Let's proceed. So the highlight changes dialog box appear and you press it. Now track changes. Verify the box for the highlights. Coming. Highlight changes on the screen. This will highlight your changes while you work. So you click on OK. So if you have probably 2016 on, 2016 to 2016 is on my other laptop. It's not on this particular one. 2010 is also on my former laptop. It's not on this one. So, and the system is not connected right now. I would have decided to switch to that and show us this. But in case you have it, just follow this same process that we have here. You'll be able to get it exactly as it is. So the same way it appears here, it will appear like that on it. It will come out this way if you have it there. So if prompted, click OK to allow Excel to save your workbook. So change tracking is now active. Any changes you make to the worksheet will be highlighted with a unique border. So note, worksheets will be shared automatically when you turn on track changes. So shared workbooks are designed to be stored where other users, such as users on the same network, can access. Meaning that if you are using a shared folder, definitely you will see this. Meaning something in the cloud, maybe OneDrive, for instance, where everybody have access to it. You can see the changes made by others. So let's proceed. To turn off track changes, From the review tab, you can click on track changes, then select highlight from the drop down menu. So you uncheck the box, click yes to confirm you want to turn off the track changes, then you can stop sharing from there. So you can see the same way it appears here. Now, like I said, this particular training has been done long ago. It's not just done now, it's been done long ago. I just had to edit it to see, to how do I call it, to edit it to make it better. It's been done more than 5-6 years ago, so it's not just done now. I guess because I have not checked with the current this thing, Office 2019 and Office 365 seem to be a bit different and more advanced. So I'll find out where it is and get back to us on that. So tracking changes, okay. You can see the screen. Once you've done the turn off, it's closed. So no, turning off track changes will delete any tracking that has taken place in your workbook. So you'll not be able to view, accept, or reject any changes again. So they'll be applied to your workbook automatically. So ensure you always review the changes in your work before turning the track changes off. So any changes you've done, make sure you are sure before you turn it off. Then you can now proceed from there. Then sharing your workbook, adding and deleting comments. You can add comments to your workbook. You can delete comments from your workbook or your worksheet. So comments highlighted by a unique indicator. You will see a very small indicator like this. If you hover it, it will show. So let's see how this pans out in this place. Now, sharing workbook to add a comment in your workbook. Now select the cell where you want to add the comment to appear. You want the comment to appear. Then from the review tab, you can click on the comments. Now let's go back. In this place, the comment section is actually there. The comment section is there. So if we decide to click on any of our cells, we can click on new comments here. If you click on new comments, this is saying, it says my own is saying start a conversation. Let's insert our comments. Let's say so I have added a comment. If you look at, let me zoom it further so that we can see clearly better. Zoom it. So if you look at this, you will find out that it brought my name and also the time I wrote the comment. If you see that by the side, you will see that there is a dot there which shows red. Now on older version, it's not going to show like this. This is a bit different. So, but don't worry, it's still. Now, if you look at this place, you see what this one is showing a box, like a text box with a yellow background, and put the name of the person there. Now, if you look at the other screenshot there, you will see a small red dot here, which is been circled. So if you see that, now my own is showing the red dots and also show my name on it. So meaning any comment, if anybody is carrying this document now, they will see the comment that has been put there. So if you see, as I place my mouse on it, it brought out the document, the comments, and we can edit the comments, we can add more to the comments. So let's go further. So just like if you hover your mouse, the comments will show, you can see clearly which was done earlier. Now to edit the comments, select the cell containing the comments you wish, then on your review tab, click edit comment. Then you can now edit the comments. So if I choose to edit my comment now, I can just click on this, but I can now edit, this tab. Okay, I can add more to it. You can see this is done at the break. Now I have edited the comment I added earlier, so I click OK to confirm. So as you can see, the comment is added. So in case if you are preparing your worksheet or workbook and you wanted you are preparing your workbook and you wanted somebody to know that there is a particular, you can put a comment so anybody that carries or that open the worksheet or workbook, they will see a comment, they can note what you are trying to say. So that is that. Let's go back. So we edited our comments. To delete the comments, you can go to the same place. The delete icon is also there. You can delete. Now, as you have seen, this screenshot is from older version, from 2010. So there is a bit different between the one I'm using and the older version. So in case you have older version, don't worry, you will see there. So from there, you can choose to delete. If I come here now, I can delete the thread from here. Now, before I delete, if you look at this place here, it has blanked the delete of comments here. So meaning I can easily come here and delete my comment from this place. If I delete the comment has been deleted right from here. So this is it. This is the section for it. So let's go continue further from there. To show or hide comments, just select the cell you want. From the review, you can choose to show or hide your comment. Now if I decide to undo what I have done before, I have undo using Ctrl Z. You can see the comment is back there. So you can decide to show the comments. Now look at something. When I decide to show comments, at the right side here, the comment is already showing here. Now in the older version, it is not like this. Don't get confused. So I can decide to show comment, I can decide to delete off the comment. Now if I want to delete, I come back here and I delete. So the comment is gone. So let's continue further. So recap. Reviewing is used to proofread a worksheet, and it could be done within a shared environment. While reviewing, you can also track changes made by another person. Sharing helps to provide feedback to the author by adding or deleting comments. Maybe a superior needed to make changes to what a subordinate has done is possible within a shared environment. So comments are also marked by indicators. So I couldn't demonstrate the comment for us. Why? Because of the platform difference. But for those of you that have older version, 2007, 2010, 2016, you can always get that. So that is that. So before we move further, any question before we proceed from there, from anyone? So okay, so let's proceed. Next is finishing and protecting our workbook. So finishing your workbook, you have done your workbook, you can decide to protect it. You don't want somebody else to make changes to it. You can protect it. You can use password. You can decide to do as much as you want, but be careful of using password. You may forget the password you use in the future, and that may not be helpful. But you can prevent others from editing what you have done. If you just want it to be read-only, you can protect it, mark it as final, then share it. They will only view it, they will not be able to make changes. If you use password, ensure you keep your password somewhere that is safe. If your password is, if you passworded your document and you forget your password, you're on your own. So that is that. So let's proceed. Number 1, before you send your workbook out, take a minute and prepare a final copy. Meaning, that's why we need to take our time to check. If not, there might be mistake or there might be error we need to correct, or we need to make changes. So you need to check. So we need to check our spelling. So the spelling command is there to check any misspelled word. Number 3, use your document inspector to find and delete any hidden data or any personal information that is stored in the work, such as hidden comment, invisible object, and file paths. So consider your protect workbook option designed to keep other users from making unwanted changes to your workbook. So with this now, you can note this. Once you are done, you are sure you've checked everything, and you can now proceed to share your workbook. So from there, finalizing your workbook. Now look at this. Look at this. The screenshot on the screen. You find out that this is 2010. If you check the one I'm using currently, there is a difference, but it's actually there. Spelling. So select the cell you want to spell check. Click on spelling command. Now let's go back. Let's assume here we want to spell check here. Let me make the breakfast. I want to write it wrongly. Now, if you check, I have written this wrong. Let's see if we can check. So now the first one, spelling check. Now, clicking on spell check, you found out that it highlighted the word that is wrongly spelled and give me option either to choose the first one or the second one. I can decide to choose the first one. I can decide to just change what is there. I can decide to change it. Now you see that when I click on it, it has helped me to change it. I can decide to ignore. Now look at this. I can decide to ignore. I can decide to ignore. In case of names, for instance, some of our names is not in the dictionary of the document that we are using. So it's probably highlighted in another color, maybe red or something. We can decide to ignore. Now let's proceed further. The spelling dialog box appear from the cell. Then you can review and edit any misspelled word, which I have done earlier. I purposely misspelled break. Then I edit it to come back. Now note, you can also check the spelling of every cell in an active worksheet by selecting any empty cell in the worksheet and then clicking on the spelling command. Now you can decide to ignore. You can decide to ignore any error. Now, some things that the system can pick as error might not be error after all. Might not be error. Meaning that, let's say name, for instance. If you write your name, maybe Okpeyemi, for instance, computer does not understand a name called Okpeyemi. It will highlight it. So you can tell computer, ignore it once. And if Okpeyemi appears in many places, you can decide to ignore all. So anytime something see this word, ignore it, it is correct. You can also decide to add it into the dictionary. So meaning that the computer will now note that okay, this word is correct. It's already, if you check the dictionary, I found out that it's there, so it will. So let's proceed from there. Now, okay, before we go, let's go back. Now, let's assume I want to write some words. Let's say Olumide, for instance. This is a word, is a name of somebody. Now, and I want to check this. Now look at the option that comes to the screen. We have ignore once. We have ignore all. We have add to the dictionary. So now, if I tell the computer to ignore, I'll just click on this, ignore once. If it appears in many places on the document, I can just say ignore all. If I want it to add, I'll just click on add to dictionary, meaning that it's already in the database of the application and automatically it is added. So that is that. So let's proceed further from there. Protecting your workbook. So by default, anyone with access to your workbook will be able to open it. They can copy it and they can make changes to any part of it unless you protect it. Let me cite an example. If you are sending a document to someone, somebody can decide to use that document for themselves. So what do? Protect it. So that it can only be marked as read-only. So when a document is marked as read-only, there is limited thing to what that person can do to it. So you can protect your workbook. What do? Click on the File tab. From the Info pane, click on the Protect Workbook. Then choose option that best suits your need. Now, I would prefer to mark as final, so that I won't bother myself with looking for a password. So next, let's go. Now look at this. Now note, marking your book as final is a way to discourage others from making any changes to the workbook. Now let's go. So on the file, this is File tab. Click on the File tab. Now this is Info pane. Click on your Info. If you click on Info pane, now look at this, Protect Workbook. The first one here, Protect. So click on this. You will see always open read only. Encrypt with password. Protect current worksheet. Protect workbook structure. Restrict access. Add as digital signature, then mark as final. Let's pick mark as final. So this workbook will be marked as final and then saved. Once you click on OK, it is marked as final. Now look at the comments, the comment that comes up. So the document has been marked as final to indicate that editing is complete and that this is the final version of the document. So meaning that you are not expected to make any further changes to this document. That's why you mark it as final. Once you mark it as final, you click OK. So when it is marked as final, the status property is set to final and typing, editing, command and proofreading, they are all turned off. Now let's try something now. I have marked as final. Now look at this this place. You might not be able to edit any further thing in this. You can see I want to type, I can't type anything inside. So no one will not be able to type in it. So except you click on this. So an author has marked this workbook as final to discourage editing. So if you have a document and it's sensitive, maybe financial reports, for instance, you can share financial reports with people, with the board, with a member of staff. You just want them to have a view of it, but you don't want them to be able to have access to make changes to it. You can do something like this and share with them. They will view it, they will see it, they will not be able to. In case of some people are malicious, some people are fond of putting other people in trouble. So you can prevent that by doing this, so that anyone that owns it, they will not be able to make any changes. They can only see, and once they see, when they are done, they will close it. Document integrity is intact. So that is that. Let's continue. So So if you click OK, I have done this already. All this I have shown us earlier. So that is that. Recap on finishing and protecting of workbook. Now, finalizing involves preparing a final copy, meaning doing spell check, inspecting your workbook. Protecting your workbook enables you to prevent unwanted access. So that's protecting your workbook. So that is that. Before we proceed to the next, so does anybody have any question to ask before we proceed to the next part, which is printing of our workbook? Okay, let's proceed. Printing. So printing allows you to have a hard copy of your document. Whatever document you have, printing enables you to have hard copy of it. So without printing, we only have soft copy, either on our system, in a flash drive, in a hard disk drive, or in the cloud. But printing, we have hard copy of whatever we are doing. Printing, we can always take it everywhere. So even if anyway, each of them have both advantage and disadvantage. So there are many choices you can choose to print. You can print in Excel. You can choose what part of your workbook to print. So now, to view print pane, click on File tab, select Print. The print pane appears with the print settings. Now let's go. Let me move this. Remove this from it. So to remove the you can choose. Okay, let's continue. Print. This is the print pane. You can see this is how my document is going to appear if I print it. So let's go further in this. Now, a worksheet is considered active if selected. So if you select a particular worksheet, it is active. Select the worksheet you want to print. To print multiple worksheets, you click on the first, hold Control, and then click on other worksheets you want to print. Let's assume you have a worksheet, maybe many worksheets, and you can't be printing. You don't want to be printing one by one. What do? You click on the first. You click on the first worksheet. You hold down your Control key and click on Other Worksheets. With this, as you can see, there is a place we talked about grouping of worksheets. So hold down your Control and click on Other Worksheets. If you attend, I think is it the first class or the second class we did when we talk about grouping of worksheets. So if you click on this, as it is now, I have already grouped this worksheet together. They are already grouped. So if you want to print, you can hold it down. It automatically makes them to be active. So you can now click on your printing. If you print at this point, all those documents will come out. Unfortunately, this is not connected to the printer, so I can't print right now. But at least maybe in your office, or if you have printer at home, you can practice this. So let's proceed. So look at this now. In the sheet tab we have on the screen, 2009 is there, 2010, 2011. So you want to print, clicking on 2009, holding your Control key, then clicking on 2011. Automatically, the file in 2009 and 2011 worksheet will be printed. It will come out of the printer. So that's that. So select active sheet from the print range drop-down menu and click print button. So let's go. If you come here, you can decide to print active worksheet. Only print active worksheet. Now, let me click out now. These 3 worksheets here in these sheet tabs have all been selected. They are all active. So if I send to printer, whatever is on them will come out. So they are automatically active. So you can go back, look at other options that we have: print entire workbook, print selection. So if you have 100 worksheets in the workbook, just click on print entire workbook. It will be printed in your printer. And if it is by mistake and you don't have enough toner, your toner will finish. If you don't have enough paper, paper will definitely finish. So be careful, ensure you select properly before you decide to print. Now, printing entire workbook, you click on File tab just like this. This is printing entire workbook. Here, if you click here, click on your print pane and see this is entire workbook. Click on it, printing or selection. So let's go back. Now, to print a selection or set the print area. Printing a selection sometimes is called setting the print area. So it lets you choose which cell to print as opposed to the entire worksheet. Select the cells that you want. Now, we can do that in the following way. Let's say I want to print only this place. I want only this place to come out. There are multiple ways to do it. This is where I want to print. If you come here, if you click on here, look at this. See my screen? Print selection only. I only selected this part, and that is the only part that is selected to be printed. You can also do the same. If you come here, you can come here now. Let me come out of this. Now, look at this. Print area. If you click on this, you can set print area from here too. Automatically it is selected. So let's go back. So you can see it's in 2 ways: print selection from the print pane, or in your page layout. You can also find that on your menu bar. So you can see what your selection will look like on the print preview. Now let's go back. So if we go to print selection from here, print selection, look at this is the place I selected. See how it appears. So if I send it to the printer, this is how it is going to come out from the printer. So that's that. So that is that. Then orientation, we know we have landscape and we have portrait. So portrait is useful for worksheet needing to fit more rows. You want to fit more rows. You want the page to be like vertical, for instance. Horizontal, you want it to fit in more columns. So you pick your file name depending on the kind of file that you have. Will determine how you choose your orientation. So as you can see, it is here from the drop down menu. You see your if you go to print pane, now you can choose orientation from here. You see page orientation, the landscape, the portrait. If you come to your page layout here too, on your menu bar, you will see also orientation there. You can see orientation there, landscape and portrait, depending on how you want your file to look like. So how does it look like if you choose landscape and we decide to go to our print pane? You can just press Ctrl P. Press Ctrl P. Okay, look at my landscape. This is my orientation. If you choose portrait, see, look at portrait. This is how it is. So let's proceed from there. Now look at this, the screenshot on the screen. Page orientation. You have changing from portrait to landscape. So that is that. So, and if you want to fit worksheet on one page, so what do? Click on file. I don't have a sheet that contains a lot of data on. Let me search for a sheet that contains a lot of data. Let me look for a sheet that okay, no, let's continue. Let me not waste any of our time. So now to fit, look at this on this screen, fit sheet on one page. Look at this. Select the sheet from the scaling drop down menu. Your worksheet is reduced in size until it fits one page. Remember that if it is scaled too small, you might not be able to read it properly, depending on what you want it. Not everybody have sharp eye. So if it is meant for, if your eyes is sharp, fine, you can fit in as much as you want. But if you are dealing with other people who probably their eyes not that sharp, consider the kind of how you fit your data, so that you not have issue of having to explain yourself to somebody else. So this then to modify margins while in print preview. So the margin of your worksheet may need to be adjusted to make data fit more comfortably on the printed page. So you can adjust the margin in print preview. So what do? Select your file, select print, the print pane, then click show margin. The margin will appear. Then you can decide to adjust the margin. Now if we go back, okay, let's select the whole document to be printed. This is selection. I decided to select print area from here. And going back to our print. Now this is the document now. Now look at our margin. You can decide to choose custom margin. From here, you can see you can go for further options to give you further option, advanced something. Now this is the margin. You can from here decide to adjust your margin vertically or horizontally. You can also choose to adjust how it is. Let's assume you want to fit into more. You can decide to adjust it from here. From the page, this is 100%. You can reduce it to other percentage, maybe 95% or maybe 70%, to make it smaller depending on how you want it. So that is that. Let's go back. Now look at this. This one is not bringing out. Let me try and show the margin. If you can find the margin to show the margin. Print to use print titles. The print titles command allows you to select specific rows and columns to appear on each page. That is, you have a long list and you want each title, you want the title, maybe the title page, the title column, the title row, for instance, to appear on every page of your printed document. That's when you use print titles. Print titles. So let's go to our page layout. We'll select print title And okay, let's use this. Let's assume, let's use this. I want to increase the fonts to 15. Yeah, what I just did now is called auto fit. In case you want to fit, automatically, just auto fit. Now, look at this. I want to print this. I have selected this. I have set my print area. But now, before we proceed, let's go to what they call page break preview. Now, also learn to use page break preview too. Now, look at where my mouse is right now. If you want to print Excel, notice somewhere. If you go to normal view, now note this dot line here. If you notice this dot line, this is telling us that this document, once it is printed, this part, this column, this place will be cut off. It will appear on the next page, and it might not be good. It might make you waste paper. So you can go to page break preview here to adjust. Look at it. I can start to hold my I can start to put my mouse here and drag it to show that, okay, this is where I want this to appear. I can also decide to adjust it further. Let's assume I want to use orientation. Okay, this orientation, and I want it to appear on more than one page. For it, let's say this. I want to print this one first, page 1. I also want to print page 2. So I can decide to do print titles. This is print titles here. This is a normal view. So in your page layout, look for print titles. Now notice something. There is a link here. It shows from A1 to A21. So the print area is from A1 to A21. Now repeat rows to repeat at the top. Rows to repeat at the top. If you come here now, I want these rows from here, A2, this place, from here, I want this place to always show at the top. You can see it's already highlighted. If you want columns to repeat, here, you come here, you want this to always repeat. Look at this. So A to F. This is column 2. Column 2, then row A to F. As you can see, can't hear anything. Oh, let me check my microphone. Oh, sorry. Can you hear something? Can you hear now? Can you hear me now? Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Now, what I said is, you have a long list. For instance, for HR practitioners, they always deal with long list of names. For instance, people in store, in warehouse, they always deal with list of items. You want to print, not only that, we have people also that deals with large number of data, depending on the kind of work you do. Now, you want to print documents and you want your title to appear on each page. You know that, notice that when you are printing Excel, for instance, when you are printing Excel, page 1, you print page 1, you print page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, but you want that title to keep appearing on all the pages that you are printing. So let's go back. For instance, let's go back to here. If you click on this row now, you see page layouts here, page layouts. Now see page print titles. When you see print title, click on print titles. Click on print titles. Look at this. Print area, it has already selected the area from A1 to F22. That was where I selected earlier. F22 is here. This is F22. So meaning that our document is going to print from here to here as page 1. Now, if I want to print page 2, page 2 is here from F20, A23 to F31. So if I highlight everything from here, I can try to set my print area to this place. Now I want my title, this is my title, to appear on all my pages. This place, look at this. Let's assume I also want this place to also appear on all my pages. So I can just come here, click on print titles. Look at this, A1 to F31. If you look at this, a matching ant has been highlighted across the border of all the items that was selected. Now, rows at the top. You want the rows to always appear at the top. So come here and pick this row, which is row 2. ID, type of equipment, which is laptop, others, TV, projector, like that. Equipment details, check out, check in, by whom. Now, this is a company that people are coming in with gadgets. Maybe it's a service center, for instance. So look at this. If you look at this, the row has been highlighted. If I want a column to appear at my left, I can just come here and select this row. This is my row to appear. You'll see click this row here to always appear at the left. It will. So here is my column. My rows at the top. This is my row. See the formula here. It will definitely appear. So if I preview, the data is not much. Okay, let me try and repopulate this data. I want to try and repopulate it. I want to populate it so it to be more than one page. I want to repopulate it. It will make it more than one page. Let's go. Okay, now this should give us more than a page. Now, if I start to select the whole page and set print area on the whole page, let's preview our printing. So we are going to have multiple pages. Now I want my title to appear on all pages. I I want my title to appear on all pages. A part of the page has been freezed. I want to unfreeze it. So, okay. Now I want my title to appear on all pages. I can just come here, click on page layout. Click on page layout and select print titles. So the row I want to appear at the top is this row. Okay, and I click, let's preview. Now look at the preview. You find out that this is page 2 of my document. This is page 1. Page 1 is having the title. Look at the ID, the type, equipment details. Then look at page 2. You can see that that same ID is appearing. You can see that. So if you want your title to appear on all the pages, select print title. It will appear. So it will help you while printing your documents, especially if you have long list of items to print, maybe 5 pages, 10 pages, as many pages as possible. So you can use this to do that. So let's proceed further on it. Okay, let's proceed further. This is what I practiced earlier for us. Rows to repeat at the top, column to repeat at the left, so you can choose it. So look at this small arrow here. It appears earlier when I was doing that. Let's go back and check. Let's go and check that. Now, while I selected print titles here and I click on it here, see my arrow. See that small arrow? Hello? Okay, so let's continue. You can see the small arrow here, so it shows the part that you've selected. Let's go back to now. Look at it. So click on the row you want to appear on each page. The row repeats at the top while you are printing. So this is an example. So I've already practicalized it for us. So to insert a break, we want to insert a break. Click the page layout. Determine the placement of the break by clicking on the row below this, the row below, cell below, or column below, where you want the break to appear. Look at this break. Insert break. Click on insert break, for instance. Let's say you want our break to appear somewhere around here. Insert break. You can also remove your break from here. That's where we want our break to appear. Some of these things, you might not need some of these things, but it's good to have the knowledge of it, so that when you find yourself using it. So, recap on printing. Printing allows us to have a hard copy of our work. Printing can only be done on active sheet, as we have talked about earlier. So to print exactly what you want, it's important to set print area. So if you don't set print area, the your whole document will be printed and it might be messy. So it's advised to preview. Always preview your work before you print. Then page orientation, landscape or portrait. While printing, it is helpful to modify the margins. Then print titles allow you to specify the row and column to appear on each page. So this is a challenge. So we have come to the end of this the challenge. So while we still have time, let's quickly go over the exercise. Or does anybody have a question before we proceed? I want us to go over the exercise together to help people that might probably have been challenged. Okay, ma. Select, yes. Okay. 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 Yes, I understand. Now, the moment you select the first sheet and you hold down your control and select other sheet, that's automatically grouping of sheets. You've automatically grouped them. Now, the implication of that is that whatever you do in the first sheet affect what happened in the second sheet, if the data in those sheets are the same. Let me practicalize it for you now. Let me practicalize it for you. Now, this is sheet 1. You can show that there's nothing in sheet 2. But I want what is here to appear in sheet 2. All I need to do is, this is sheet 1, I hold down my sheet 2, and I hold down my sheet 3. I automatically group them. All I need to do here is come here, highlight all the something and press my enter key. Once I press enter, okay, what this done is you can find out that what I highlighted there, it also highlights the same thing here. So if I want any value here to appear, okay, let's say I can just come in here and press enter. I'm entering this value. Okay, sorry, it has ungrouped. Let me group them back. I want to have this value in other sheets. I can just come in here and press enter key, come in here, enter, come in here, enter this place, enter. Let's see. Okay, it means I will have to type. Okay, let me just I've grouped the sheet. Okay, let me group them again. Yes, you can print at once. That's before you print that at once, ensure you have set your print areas. For instance, instead of adjusting, like printing all the worksheets and find out that you have some errors, what you do is come to each sheet, make sure you have set your print area. Your print area is working fine and working perfectly. So what happens once that is done, highlight all your worksheets and send to printer. Everything will come out in sequential order from sheet 1 to the last sheet. What I wanted to practicalize for us earlier was, I want to enter data in my sheet and allow it to appear in the other worksheet. That's what I wanted to do earlier. Okay, let me just type. So far, this sheet I see grouped. So let's say I want to type serial number 011. Okay, laptop 10 saris. Now if you come here and check other worksheet, it will appear. Now look at what I typed in other sheet, it automatically appears here. That's grouping of worksheet. Now that I've clicked out, it has ungrouped itself. So you can find out that same location that I typed J13, that's grouping of worksheets. So if I want to print all these things, I can just group it and print. I can't be typing one by one, but if you want to do all these things, just like in your Excel challenge, something like this is in the challenge, where you group the worksheets, whatever you are typing in sheet 1 appears in sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, like that. So if you want to print it, ensure it all is within the print area. Once it is in the print area and is selected, select entire workbook or active worksheet and you print. So everything will come out in the printer in sequential order. So that's it. So is that clear? Okay, no problem. So do I need to go through the exercise once again for us? Do I need to go through the exercises?